What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from, the Jeremy Hambly channel. There's a lot to cover today in the Carmelo Anthony trial that I haven't already covered on my main channel, The Quartering. So this is new information. We've got fights breaking out. We've got weird media coverage to address. These are some of the things that I was most concerned about, and it seems to be getting worse by the hour on the scene of the Carmelo Anthony trial, which started in earnest today. We've heard a lot of testimony, a lot of information, and there's a lot to talk about. And I want to get into all that after a super quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Browsing the internet with an unencrypted connection is like sending a private message to a group chat and everyone saw your terrible meme or joke. It would be bad news. Whenever you're browsing online on an unprotected device, such as your phone, computer, tablet, or console, your device is transmitting a great amount of information out to the open web and can be viewed by various people all over the place. Now, a virtual private network, or a VPN for short, is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. This way, it shields your digital life from the eyes of those that are looking to exploit your private information. Whenever you're connected to the internet or on a public Wi-Fi at airports, coffee shops, friends' houses, or even your own home, your data is at risk of being stolen. Hackers that are connected to the same Wi-Fi have the ability to steal your personal data with ease. Private Internet Access helps you protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection through their world-class server infrastructure, which makes your information shielded and bulletproof. Private Internet Access allows you to have access to region-restricted content from all over the world. This is my favorite feature. Many websites and services across the internet are only accessible depending on your physical location. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and more have different library options based on where you're located. Some popular websites block or restrict users from other regions from specific content, and many sporting events have the same issue. Private Internet Access helps you overcome these restrictions by giving you the option to change your IP address to one of their 91 countries or to choose from all 50 states in the US. Allows you to gain access to websites and services that are only available in those locations. Private Internet Access is the world's most transparent VPN with over 30 million downloads. They never record or store your data. No logs policy has been proven multiple times in court and by a third-party audit. Private Internet Access hides your IP address and encrypts your internet. The VPN works with all major streaming services, plus it's one of the few VPNs that support P2P file sharing. Private Internet Access is available for all platforms: Windows, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and as many more as you can use just one Private Internet Access subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. I've been using Private Internet Access for years on all my devices, and I personally stand by it. And I've got a special offer for you. By using my link in the description, you can grab an 83% discount on Private Internet Access. That's just $2.03 a month, and you also get 4 extra months completely for free. Go to the link in the description to get 83% off Private Internet Access with 4 months free. I don't browse the internet without a VPN, and you shouldn't either. First, let's talk about some of this media coverage. They're getting it all wrong. That's why you need to be subscribed here and to The Quartering. This is crazy. So Carmelo admitted. Well, let's look at Court TV's coverage here. This one isn't as bad as Fox. Fox is atrocious.
And this morning, both sides were allowed to give their opening statements in front of the jury, 20 minutes each, and the defense saying
By the way, I want to remind you, according to lawyers who are, actually know about this stuff, roughly 80% of all jurors make up their mind simply from opening statements, and they never change their mind again for the duration of the case.
Self-defense is useless if you wait until it is too late to use it. In that moment, when Austin makes the first physical contact, he reacts in a he, meaning Carmelo Anthony, reacts in a split second of fear and chaos. Well, why didn't he just walk away? There's an answer. After Carmelo defended himself, he ran.
By the way, they keep calling him Mello because they want him to appear like a child. They say it's because that's what his nickname is, but that's actually not true. They want the jury to see him as a child who just made a childish mistake. He also ditched the weapon. If you didn't think he made a mistake, why did he ditch the weapon? They didn't tell you that, did they?
Ran. He didn't stab twice. He dropped the knife right by the tent on the bleachers. Instead of running to the exit, he goes onto the track and walks right up to a coach and stayed with this coach until that officer arrived.
That contradicts what I've seen. What I've seen reported is that he was apprehended while trying to leave in a group of other students. Now, maybe what I was told is wrong, and this is true, but that does directly fly in the face of what I've been told.
Amaro, your thoughts on the fleeing or the running to get help? I do want to also point out what the police report said about what he said, what Carmelo said as soon as he interacted with the school resource officer. He told them that Austin put his hands on me. He advised other officers that the officer said, I have the suspect or alleged suspect in custody. And Carmelo Anthony said, I'm not alleged. I did it. And he also asked, is the victim going to be okay? What do you think is going to be?
You stabbed him in the heart, bro. No, he's not going to be okay.
The impact of his own words as to whether or not he was fleeing or he was someone who was just getting out of the way of the chaos in order to then turn himself in.
I mean, we see consciousness of guilt in all of these cases, and we just discussed this in the last hour with Ted, but the consciousness of guilt, he did not flee. He went to a person in authority. He went to a coach. He dropped the knife. He didn't leave the scene. He asked how the victim was. He said...
What do you mean? This I guess guy sounds like a defense attorney. Oh, he is a defense attorney. Shocking. Okay. He ditched the weapon. Okay. He says he dropped it. He ditched it. He hid it. He did. If he thought he did nothing wrong, why did he drop it? He brought the weapon, a prohibited item, in his backpack. He went over to a tent where he didn't belong. He instigated a fight. He escalated the fight. He chose to pull the weapon, take another man's life. All of this, like, sure, he's acting like he it's not premeditated, but it doesn't change what he did.
He did it. He said why he did it. I think he did a very good job, and the defense did
He did a very good job. Are we joking here?
Great job, like Joanna just said, in humanizing him. We now know he's a straight A student.
He's not a straight A student. 3.7 GPA. Just, he's a high A student.
Now know he has no contact whatsoever previously with the criminal justice system. We know he's an athlete.
So we also know he has another fight on record that was handled internally by the school district. This guy seemingly skipped over that.
You're coming into this with a 17-year-old boy who found himself in this predicament, and after it, he could have fled. He could have gotten scared. There was an exit nearby. He chose not to take it. Instead, he went.
Well, then he must be acquitted. I mean, he only killed the guy. We must acquit. Right? We must acquit.
To a person of authority. So that this Mr. Anthony made all of the right moves after the incident.
After he took another kid's life. After he did that. Man, defense attorneys. The coverage, by the way, has been ridiculous. This via Brianna Morello. Fox News doing an awful job covering it, and she's right. I know the facts of the case, and what they're saying is nonsense.
All criminal court cases in this country should be televised because, unfortunately, we have to rely on the corrupt corporate media for their interpretation as to what's going on inside the courtroom. Right now, obviously, as many of you guys know, Carmelo Anthony is on trial. It is a murder trial, and obviously, his legal defense team is trying to make this all about race. But a lot of bombshells dropped today in court, and we're very limited with the coverage that's being broadcasted all over the country. As you could see, I'm calling out my former employer, Fox Corp, because I just watched their coverage and it was absolutely egregious.
Yep.
Lazy producers who missed the key points
Yes.
in the opening statements earlier today. Now, I outlined it for you in this tweet. You can take a look at that. But the reality of it is this. Why are we relying on the corporate media to interpret it for us? Why can't I see this myself? Why do I have to sit here and hope that whoever's in that courtroom right now doesn't have a bias? Keep in mind, folks, I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you what I am. I am a news producer. I spent years in the corporate media world. And you know what happens when you have a high-profile case like this and you get racial tension stirring, and then there's maybe possibly a conviction, or they don't get a conviction? Well, obviously, we know that people go out to the streets, and these are the same corporate media outlets that profit based on high ratings when cities begin to burn. So no, I don't trust any of these outlets to interpret what actually is happening in that courtroom. I want to see it myself.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is the big problem with it being not televised. This is the huge problem with it not being televised. I don't know. All I get is these idiots at Fox News who are in the courtroom misinterpreting the facts. And of course, looks like the dreadlocks are gone from Carmelo. Do you know why they shaved the dreadlocks from Carmelo? They want him to look younger. They manipulated the jury during jury interviews, and many of the jury said he looks like a child. He didn't look like a child when he was stabbing somebody. He doesn't look like a child here when he's got his cocktail weenie haircut and his I'm looking hard for the camera stare. I wouldn't be surprised if they put makeup on him. Now, opposing prosecutors seen outside of Texas courthouse, protesters. Oh, we're going to get to that too, because of course we've got the usual suspects there out. So I'm very worried that this is not being aired, and this is an issue. There's also massive issues with people being able to get into the courthouse who are independent reporters. There's a curfew imposed that no one is allowed to be on courthouse grounds from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. But the states, Carmelo Anthony supporters are somehow getting there as early as 4 a.m. And they're rushing the courtroom, and they're getting all of the seats. So there's only 27 seats available for reporters, and it's getting filled up with Carmelo Anthony supporters. Many Carmelo Anthony supporters have made sure to line up early so that they're the ones that get the seats. During jury selection yesterday, I watched them take detailed notes regarding each potential juror as the selection process took place. Why? Because they want to intimidate them? I don't know. I can't say that for sure. I can't know that for sure. Well, why are you taking detailed notes on the jurors? Especially when they're just potential jurors. Of course, now there's fights going on outside the trial. This is Carmelo Anthony's defense attorney, Toby Shook, is cross-examining the video expert who magnified security camera footage. You can't really tell what's going on under the tent, can you? Yes. So there's no way to really determine when an argument starts or stops, is there? Well, I don't think that those questions are actually helping the self-defense claim. They're holding on to this self-defense claim, but they don't have one. By the way, here's a great Carmelo Anthony supporter.
I'm gonna push you if I get close enough.
I'm gonna punch you or push you if I get close enough.
Right into that crack.
For one person standing there holding the Texas flag and sign saying a life for life, I think.
You heard what I said, cracker.
Oh, he's a cracker now. Neanderthal, cracker.
I don't give a fuck what you say.
Well, okay.
Fuck you, cracker. Fuck you, cracker.
Okay, so he's racist. These are the people showing up for Carmelo Anthony. We love our black youth. They deserve protection too. Well, how about starting with from each other? The number one predator of young black youth is other young black youth. Yet this community doesn't ever seem to care about that.
We love our black youth. They deserve protection too. We love our black youth. They deserve protection too.
Well, okay. What was he supposed to be getting protected from? Was Carmelo Anthony going to then attack himself? Is that what was going on here? Was he going to attack himself? They deserve protection. Yeah, I agree. Why did this kid sneak a knife into a track meet and then plunge it into the chest of another guy in a seemingly cruel, perhaps even premeditated manner?
We love our black youth. They deserve protection too. We love our black youth. They deserve protection too.
Why don't you go to work? Do you not have jobs? Do you not have jobs? By the way, here, this, I don't really care for Jake Lang, but he's been there too. And this guy says the only good cracker is one that isn't alive.
Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
Gee, I wonder how much this guy donated to Carmelo Anthony's defense fund. Seems like probably more than your average bear. Pretty curious to me.
Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
Now, in their community, if we use their word, they're allowed to kill us. Lang can't settle for anything less than death penalty. Look, I'd be fine with life in prison.
Cannot settle for anything less than the death penalty. Kill Carmelo Anthony. Kill Carmelo Anthony. Kill Carmelo Anthony.
That's not a threat.
Kill Carmelo Anthony.
That's not a threat.
Jake Lang is cringe. If he gets a death penalty, look, put it out of your mind. He's not getting the death penalty. I promise you, there's no shot. If he's even convicted, which he should be, this guy's not getting more than 10 years. And he'll be out before he's 25 years old. This is how our justice system works. If the races were reversed, he'd be in life, life in prison without the possibility of parole. You know.
Whatever you talk about, the motherfucking lie. And you motherfucking know it. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you talk about, the motherfucking lie.
Seems like we have some impulse control problems. Very similar to Carmelo Anthony. Seems like this guy's having a real hard time controlling his emotions and actions. And, that's why Austin Metcalf is dead.
And you know it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Chimping out, man. Low impulse control. This is the reason why Austin Metcalf is dead.
He's actually right. Low impulse control is why Austin Metcalf is dead. That's 100% true. 100% true. I wish we had someone there outside of Jake Lang saying this because of all the baggage he brings and the fake blood he allegedly filmed in his publicity stunt. But he's not wrong here. He's not wrong. Remember, Carmelo was in other fights.
The girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told us this.
I'm in shock because it's like, I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff, but to take someone's life is just like...
Yeah, he's been in many fights, is what it looks like. Make sure you keep it locked in here on both the Jeremy Hamblin channel, and then make sure you subscribe to the Quartering channel because I probably do 2 to 3 updates a day. As chunks of information become available, I'll put it all together and put it out in a video. I appreciate and love all you guys and all your support, and we'll see you in the next video.